Yeah, there you go. Have a seat. I just had to come to y'all with this, a little bit of extra thought. Um, Something that was on my mind, as it were. And yes, I'm holding my sword and using it as a instruction piece because um, one of the beauties of this thing is it's like a maestro's baton. So it allows me to have that bit of, you know, I may punctuate some of the things I says with the sword. Just because I was sitting here, I was doing some of my swordplay, you know, just working on it. And I was thinking about this recollection on YouTube's and what these people say is and whatnot. Sword, do you understand? I am 37 years old. I have been a Minuteman since I was 18. So that does not equate to 10 years. There, well. And then, on top of this, he says, why don't you go get a job and help your mother? Motherfucker, this is my mother's second house. This is my job. Or were you not paying attention? Me being here is a sense of security so that her house is not broken into. I sustain myself. And one of my hobbies can easily be converted into a method of guaranteeing me monies if I need it. However, I have 80% disability, meaning that I could never keep up with the market. And therefore, I'm on Social Security disability. I'm not allowed legally to lift more than 16 pounds above my head. Do you not understand here, so? The simple fact of the matter is, I can't do a job. I wish I could. I wish I could work. I know I can't keep up. I do not delude myself as you do. As I said before, you're not going to vote your way out of this. It's a sad reality, but it's a fact of life. You're not going to vote your way out of this. You're voting your way into it. And the problem lies when the laws that you go and push forwards are utilized against you. And when everybody says, well, this law would be for the better, I want you to pay attention to the way that the law works. This is a half measure. Half measures always come with a price because you have to make it a full measure. So think about what you're doing here. It's not just as simple as, oh, we get all this stuff back. It's they're barely giving you a fucking crumb while they're holding the damn plate of biscuits. You are not paying attention to the wider picture. You have only a corner of this photograph. And this is my point I've been making forever. A man cannot be a man, and a woman cannot be a woman, as in you cannot be an adult human if you are subject to another. Now, this little boy, as I was mentioning, Call me a sovereign citizen. I think that's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard in my life. You cannot be a sovereign and be a citizen. And only a retard would think so. I'm going to point some of that out to you. You cannot be a Minuteman and be a sovereign in this fucking country. Do you understand me now, soul? Do you get what I am saying? Do you understand that in this country, you cannot be a sovereign? You would be an enemy of the state. Because in the United States, sir, we are all citizens of a grander union. There is no sovereignty in this country. This is for the same reason why I am 33rd in line to the English throne. And I have no political power in the United States, save for my voice. Because I know that my vote is impotent. Especially whatever district I choose to live in, for the most part. Or, well, am able to live in, for that matter. It's people like y'all looking down your noses at me when I says think. For yourself. They give me a problem in this world. So as he were, I want you to take a real good close look at this. This took me 5 years to make, sir. And you sitting there saying, why don't you go get a job? I've had several. I spent years paying into fucking Social Security. Like I said, I'm 37 fucking years old. I got hurt several times on the job and also as doing Minuteman duties and also in the private sector with no attachment to anyone. So let me make it abundantly clear to you. I have done things that make you jealous of your own life and then also envious of mine because you do not have what I have or have done what I have done. You feel cheated because you took a different route. And now you wish you could do otherwise. Well, so I can tell you this much. There is always a chance for tomorrow if you make it for yourself. Now, I ain't saying don't enjoy the freedoms that you do. You'll notice I didn't ban your comments, son. Hell, I made you the belle of the ball. Because you came in like a wrecking ball and then decided to be a complete and utter asshat. And so I decided just to stand back and be like, all right, I'm going to throw some memes at you just so you get an understanding of where I'm coming from with this. And just a slight one. Because y'all don't understand. I am the anti-bully. That has been my life's fucking work. I am the guy that you just don't go at. Or have you not noticed people like Cha-Cha, KP, literally just come in and, hi, good morning. They're not being jackasses. They're not saying, oh, you should think this way or you should do that way. They're trying to pay attention and learn something. Because there is little bits of knowledge to glean from everything. If there's been anything I've been trying to teach in life, it is that you learn continuously. These things I have learned hard. My vote does not count for shit. Me calling my representatives literally pushes me further into that little tiny box that they want to keep me in rather than being out and about doing my thing. That's the big difference here. I don't think in the fucking sovereign sit, the sov sit sense. That's just some bullshit. And that's going to get you thrown in jail real fast. I want to make that abundantly clear to everybody that I know. Do not fucking claim to be a sovereign citizen. You cannot be. They will put you in jail for your own safety. Do you not understand that? You are not a sovereign and a citizen. You can't be both. That is oxymoronic. It's literally self-canceling. You do not want to have any kind of self-canceling language when you are speaking to law enforcement, dumbass. There's a reason why I don't act like that with cops. Honest to God. You want to sit there and says all this shit like that. Well, let me tell you something. I have gone and gotten jobs. I have been out there and done that shit. And at the same fucking time was working my ass off, being a Minuteman and doing all that shit. Most of my jobs were under the table. Because guess what? When you get injured and you still have to make a fucking living, it's hand to mouth. So maybe you weren't paying attention, but maybe now you should be. You might open your eyes and see. Open your ears and hear. Close your mouth so your mind can get to working. It's the whole reason why I says I knew I was going to piss somebody off. And guess what? I did. I even pissed a couple of other folks off in my own circle. Ouch. Because what I did not make abundantly clear, I guess, is that I am trying to break the psyche of individuals that you are secluded to one form or another and that the government has any control over your life. You can control it yourself if you know how to navigate it. And that is what I'm saying here. You have to have a mind about yourself. Don't be sitting there going and following what other people says. Walk on your own 2 feet. And then, someday, you'll be able to be like me. A master in craftsmanship. And at the same time, a mental giant. I don't just put my standards in projectile weapons. My standards are so high that you will not find these in stores most days. This is my sword that I made for myself because I'm not buying a $4,000 sword in a damn store. And that's how much it cost me to make this. But this is a $10,000 sword. If I was to sell something like this, that's how much that would cost. Because this is not like the one I held in the store that was $4,000. This one is beyond all of that. It is made for fencing at the same time as it's made for cutting. Made to be able to do all sorts of different things. This is a defensive sword. I don't know if you noticed that. I'm gonna point out a few things to you, just real quick. And this is you can. It's said in Japanese sword making that the sword itself, when made by the smith, is an extension of the smith's soul and their philosophy. I want you to look at this sword. The attention to detail, the attention to balance, the ideal perfection in a blade. This is my philosophy. It doesn't have to be pretty. It just has to be perfect. Think about that, son. I'm sure life will actually come around and tell you something. Bring you about in a whole new world of what's going on. I am a lot more than meets the eye. And my other subscribers know this. They sit there and they watch to learn. Because I have done some things that would astonish. And I did it all, for the most part, without having to fucking go and break a sweat for somebody else. I hope you understand that now. It has nothing to do with sovereign citizenship. That shit is bullshit. I worked my ass off my younger years. Now I'm 37, gonna be 38. I got arthritis in my limbs, all four of them. Chronic sprain in my ankle. My back is all fucked all to hell. I have half of my jawbone is made of titanium. I have a 36-inch suture running from the middle of my goddamn chest down to almost my nuts. You can almost sit there and says that I am the $6 million man. I am held together by bolts and screws. I am held up by a titanium rod shoved into the back of my ass. I have done things that would fucking make you go and wonder how the fuck it is possible to survive it. So you won't sit there and says, oh, it was a minute man for 10 years. Why don't you go get a job? Why don't you fucking get up off your ass and do what's righteous and you know it. Change your life. Forge self-governance. Break your shackles and forge your sword of freedom. Because who knows, one day, you might be just like me.